Hey everybody. So, this is it. This is the final day. It has been 31 days of Halloween. It is Halloween. It is the end of this. Oh my god, I can't believe that I've gone through the whole thing. And what is the final movie of the day? Well, you'd know already if you looked at the title of everything, because I've been putting the movies in the title. And yeah, I couldn't avoid it. Today, it's Pan's Labyrinth. Now, I know what some people are going to say. Well, that's not really a horror movie. No. It's I would consider this to be a horror movie. It is definitely fantasy horror. Something like Legend would be, right? Some people don't consider Legend to be a horror movie, but it's definitely a horror movie. It definitely has its tropes, and this definitely has it too, right? But it's just, I remember seeing the original trailer for this, and honestly not realizing that it was going to be in Spanish, and sitting there in the theater, and then all of a sudden it started, and I was like, wait a second, this is not, I thought this was going to be some, like, American film and stuff like that, and I didn't really know Del Toro from a whole lot, and it started my love affair with Guillermo Del Toro. Now, I knew about Blade 2, and I thought Blade 2 was pretty good. Had some things here or there, and there's a lot of really cool stories if you go back to it and you see what he did with it, and like the things that he decided to do, and things that you thought were actually like CGI turned out not to be CGI. He wanted it to be practical. He had this very passion for practical monsters and practical effects, and this is like, this is the film that if you are or haven't ever seen a Del Toro movie, or you are the biggest fan, I'm almost going to guarantee that this is the film that got you into Guillermo Del Toro. It is beautifully shot. The story is fantastic. Doug Jones is absolutely amazing in this, in doing the creature effects and the practical effects, just absolutely amazing. And I mean, you just have to really get into it. And even Raina is really excited about it, as you can see from her deciding to join today's final video. I really don't know what else to say about it. I mean, it's the second film in his, where he's using the backdrop of the Spanish Civil War. You have an excellent character. And again, I hate doing names because I know that I'm going to forget everything, or I'm going to fuck up the name really, really bad. But it's just, I mean, from the craziness of, I always forget what the monster with the eyes is called. Like, that scene, I remember just having so much tension as she's walking through, and she's trying to get past it and not be noticed by anything. It's such a well done moment, and it reflects exactly what she's doing in the film in general. And the fact that, the ending is not the happiest of endings, but it's a happy ending, if you kind of know what I mean. I remember just being in such awe of this movie that it became one of my top 5 favorite films of all time. And anytime I saw anything attached to Del Toro, I was like, I have to see this. So, went and saw Hellboy after this. And I thought Hellboy was pretty good, not necessarily the best, but it was definitely entertaining. And then you have The Golden Army, which is just an amazing fucking movie, not just from, like, how you can make a sequel so much better than the original, but again, the practical effects that are there. The Shape of Water is also, it's in my top 10 movies of all time. I'm such a Del Toro fanboy, and I've got to watch Cabinet of Curiosities because I've really wanted to see it. But again, there's not much I can say about this movie other than, you need to see it. And I really wish that, there was more in this world and this lore. I don't need a Pan's Labyrinth 2, but I want something fantastical like this again. And The Shape of Water is very, very close to what I kind of want in terms of this film. It has been a long time since I've seen this movie, and I'm actually kind of mad at myself that I haven't seen it anytime sooner. I'm also mad a little bit because I want to talk about this like in length, do the whole like podcast based upon this movie, because it's such an important part of my life. And I know people that say that about movies that are always, you always like look at them weird, but this was at a time that I really wanted to start doing this. And doing these reviews, and before podcasting really became a big thing, before we did all these video reviews, I used to write reviews on a friend's site. I would have them, we'd go to these movies. I was working kind of a crappy job, not a bad job, but still it could have been, better. It's still like a mall job, but I had more responsibilities than a lot of other people out there. And they just built the new mall in San Francisco, and we moved from a little kiosk to an actual store. And that was playing at that theater in that mall, though they had put a theater in there. And we all basically stayed till after work was done, and the people in the store and a bunch of friends all met up together, and we went and saw it. And then that was what started me writing these movie like blog posts. And it was just, I just remember being in such awe after watching it, and just crying at the right moments, and not realizing that I was getting so emotional with the movie, and really following our main characters, like her journey throughout the whole film, and realizing how much of a bastard our antagonist was in this movie, and just like loving the magicalness of when you see Pan, when you see him for the first time, because it's not like when you see that type of creature, it's not necessarily a friendly creature, right? Like when you're looking at him, and then you kind of understand that there's something else that's kind of lying underneath it too, and it's just what she's going through. It's all representation of the war and her kind of fight against it, even though being young and not really able to understand what's going on, and having to grow and having to do these things while she's kind of being oppressed, and the people around her are just being oppressed by the war that, and of course, like I said, our antagonist that's around them. So I mean, if you haven't seen this, you need to. I don't know why you haven't. It's rough to find streaming. I thank God I still have my DVD copy of this movie, and try to watch it more often than I actually do. So this is great to revisit this movie again. It's been fun doing all of these movies, doing all of these international horror movies, and seeing some good ones and seeing some bad ones. And there may be like a recap, and I might be doing like, excluding the ones that I have seen, but all the ones that I haven't seen before, maybe doing like a recap of my favorite ones. Definitely, I think on the mini episode that's going to come out at the end of this week, I think you'll be able to hear something about that, and definitely talk about some of my favorite movies that I saw through this whole time period, and a couple of the ones that were just kind of okay, for what it is. So I thank you guys. If you guys have been following this whole series, I really appreciate it. It's really hard to do this every year, to do it like the way that I do it, and to do all the podcasts that I also do at the same time, because if you knew how long it took to do those, you guys would be amazed that I actually get 5 done actually, because The Hills Have Eyes that just got released over the weekend. So yeah, I give Pan's Labyrinth an awesome 5 out of 5 pans. I mean, you just got to see it. You really do. So thank you guys once again. Don't forget, check out the Terrible Terror podcast. It's available on all podcasting platforms. And yeah, follow me on everything in the description down below. So thank you guys. And we'll definitely see you soon for a couple movie reviews. I believe that we're going to go see Terrifier 2 this weekend. So there should be a review, or this week. Why do I say this weekend? Because I think it's only in theaters for us until Thursday, even though it's been there, but it hasn't been anywhere close. So there'll probably be a review or something like that up there. And like I said, check out the podcast. So thank you guys so much, and we'll catch you later.